to me, what seems to be the problem is, and nobody seems to be talking about this in a real way, and it's disappointing, especially that there's tons of older black women who played in the league and are not addressing this. There is a serious issue where all of the women are conducting themselves or looks to be moonlighting as escort video girls, and the only white girl just gets to play basketball the whole time.
Women felt like Lex and Drea, when James and Fuhad initially said that, should have been like, that's weird. But they were basically like, well, we not from Atlanta, which is okay.
But could not get the sponsor. I see why it was small. They could not get the sponsors.
Because who wants to? There were no ciphers.
No, we got J1. You want to talk about J1?
They had J1 in a Nissan Altima or whatever it was.
It was a Nissan, but it was Imani's Nissan. The Kai girl who's with Jaylen Brown, and you remember they was all together. So I'm pretty sure she sees that as, if the girl who's getting 3 points a game is getting this, I should be somewhere in that market as well. You know what I'm saying? Because I get more rebounds than her. What it seemed like with her is, just from people discussing about it, she kind of fell for the guy. And she kind of thought this was going to be a bigger thing between them two. Mm-hmm. And then when it came out that it wasn't going to be that, and she was just another one on the list, that's when this kind of defaming exercise came out. Because a lot of people don't know, you can perform with herpes in sex work. You just have to sign a document that says it.
I can't believe Fred texted that nigga that shit. I cannot believe Fred texted him and said that.
This podcast is sponsored by Graffiti Tax Services. For all your tax preparation needs, you can go to graffititax.com. We're going to put the link right here. It should be somewhere. And yeah, you can head to them during tax season. And if you have any financial or tax preparation questions, head to Graffiti Tax Services. They're our new sponsor. Thank you to Graffiti Tax Preparation Services. That's it.
Hey man, I've said it before on this show. Like, you just can't trust kids. Like,
have you said that?
Yeah, I've said that, man. Kids is just, they low down. Like,
you have said that.
Like, they no good. They low down. Wow. Especially when they not your kids.
Especially.
They gonna turn their back on you every time.
I hate other people's kids. Not hate. That's a strong word. I don't.
Strong dislike. Kids. A disdain. And they even like be your own. Like, we took my niece and nephew out with my parents this weekend. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, like, I'm trying to make sure I'm mindful because their parent, is very sensitive about certain things and imagery and content that they consume and all that kind of stuff. Even to the stuff we speak. So I feel like I'm trying to be mindful, and I may say something to you that's adult friendly. Yeah. But I'm not trying to directly, insult the kid. So my nephew throws me under the bus.
He more than threw you under the bus. He threw you under the bus, and then he drove and went back over.
So what happened was we were going out, and we asked him if he want to ride with us. He said yeah. So he jets over coming over to us. I look at Farrah and say,
"Cool car."
You know what I'm saying? I go over to Farrah and be like, look how fast he coming over here. Apparently he got over there faster than I think. And I say, he was like, fuck his sister. Yeah. Because that was who was with my mom. Mm-hmm. So he heard me say that and didn't say nothing to me, didn't speak on it or anything. Nope. Apparently he came to you off the slick. Yeah.
So because we went and got breakfast, and then there was a thrift store nearby, and I love thrift stores, and so does my mama. So we all went to the thrift store, and while we're in there, I heard him talking to his sister, saying like, Uncle Fred said a bad word. He said F this or whatever, but I didn't fully hear. And then they got closer to me, and they were like, yeah, Uncle Fred said, he was like, yeah, Uncle Fred said F da da da. And I was like, yeah, your Uncle Fred says lots of bad words. We both be cursing like sailors. So I didn't think anything of it, but I think that's what he was talking about.
Yeah, I think it was too, because I talked to my dad about it the next day. So then I get a call, check on my parents, make sure they all good. The kids
Everyone got home safe.
And she's telling me, she's like, so did you say such and such to your niece? And I'm like, no.
Did you say fuck you directly to your niece? That's what she asked me.
Yeah.
We were both like, what?
I was like, no, I don't remember. Because I joke around with him. Like I come from my dad doing that to his nieces and nephews. We play maybe a little extra and all that other stuff. But I come from that. But I was like, no, I didn't say that. Especially not to her. If I did say it, I may have said it to myself. Because she says a lot of stuff that'll make me want to say that. Like she'll try me and disrespect me, and nobody's saying anything. I'm like, man, this little girl, like she lame as hell.
Be trying him sometimes.
She's lame as hell. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying in my head, but I'm not trying to express that to her. But no, I'm like, no, I didn't say that at all. And she goes, I'm always like, well, your nephew just came out and just flat out said it in front of his mom. I'm like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
Like what? And she's like, yeah, you said fuck. I'm like, that's not what happened at all. I did not do that. I don't think her mom thought a big deal because nobody called me.
Yeah, because when he told the story in front of everyone, your niece was like, I didn't hear him say that.
Yeah, nobody heard me say
that. Because you didn't that wasn't a thing.
And then, man, look at us. Then we bought him books and stuff. So, like, we really, like, let him have a good time.
He is literally the cutest little cutie pie. He's so smart. We were in the thrift store. He's like, I'm learning about the American Revolution, the American Civil War. So there were these, like, a bunch of history books that were dated from, like, 1575 onward. And he wanted those. Yeah. And then he was like, really, what I'm trying to find is a book on the periodic table of elements. And then he told me how many elements there were. And I was like, I want to find you a book on the elements. Like, I was in that store like, whatever you want, you got it. Like, buy it.
That's his new fixation is the elements now. I was telling him a bunch of them that he didn't know was considered elements. He was like, oh, all of that are elements?
Yeah, we got to find him a book on Amazon on the elements.
Nah, he's up now. Like, what you mean? Me and that nigga,
nah,
he not cool no more. That's not my guy. We
gotta feed his...
No, that's not my guy.
That's your guy.
No, I don't, even though it's probably a good investment.
After you have a little talk with him, that's gonna be your guy again.
No, I'm definitely gonna make it seem like me and him not cool next time I talk to him.
He's so sensitive. You're gonna make him cry. I don't want you to make him cry.
Man, we can't be doing
You're
that.
You're a grown man.
I'll be
a
that.
Sensitive little boy.
And I'll be that.
You can just be like, hey, nephew, that hurt my feelings, and you know that I wouldn't say that about your sister.
I'm gonna let him know, bro.
But also, he's a kid, so.
But he posted, like, I just felt like he's old enough at the age now where we built a rapport where you could have came to me first and G-check. Like, they correct me all the time.
I don't think he's old enough for
no,
that.
Man. He's
pull you aside and have a man-to-man talk with you?
Not a man-to-man talk, but they say that any other time I say something to them they don't like or word they don't like, they spit it out and say, you said such and such.
That's only one of them.
You're a monster. They'll say that all the time. Like
that's only your niece that does that.
Yeah, but he does it too when he wants to.
Way less often.
I can't even say black men around her.
She thinks black is a bad word.
Black is not correct, Uncle Fred. That's what she likes to say. Like.
Yeah, I was like, when we were at the table, I was like, black is not a bad word.
I was like, tell the president. She's the what we're talking about. Like, that's what she in grown folk conversation. Like,
Frederick is a menace because he found a Bible, found a part in the Bible because there's a lot of bullshit in the Bible. So he found some bullshit in the Bible while we were in the thrift store and then showed it to her. She started having a crisis. She started having a literal crisis.
But women can do everything.
Yeah, he found a misogynistic line in the Bible, and she was like, but my mom told me that women are capable of everything. And I was like, girl, you cannot just go with the Bible word for word. I was like, honey, there's lots of misogynistic things that go against women in the Bible, and it's a little bit outdated. But,
or your God is real and he's telling you what to do. Like, he gave you this spirit to want to have desires, and he just say, no, corral that shit in.
Yeah.
Bring that in. You don't need all that.
All right. I think we've stayed on this topic enough. Sometimes kids are ops, though.
Biggest ops. Your biggest ops.
Yeah.
If we're being honest.
Are you tired of paying a lot of money for your vacation? My name is Shirley Proctor, and I am a partner with Tavodian, a traveling membership group. I can help you save time, money, help you and your loved ones see the world.
All right, man. You are now listening to Talk FNF TV. I'm your host, Absurd Rhetoric, and I'm with my lovely and amazing co-host, Miss Reality.
Hi, guys.
We're here to bring you another installment We're back at it. A lot of shit to get into, man.
Yeah.
Got to bring you guys some sexual health later on because clearly y'all are all idiots. You've been showing us on the timeline.
Y'all did not have comprehensive sexual health educations, and it shows on a regular basis.
But it's like so widespread too. Like we can tell y'all.
That's just a thing in the United States, though.
I mean, we could just tell a lot of y'all got the certificate just for attendance. Like you didn't get the diploma. Like that wasn't for you. That was for the other kids. A lot of political stuff, and I voted, so we're gonna talk about that later on.
Yes,
I definitely went into the booth and did my thing.
Proud of you, baby.
Space updates we got later on, so
space wars again.
It's getting hectic over there. But let's start with the BET Awards. So first off, you and your award theory that we are situation you're supposed to have, you've fallen through like 3 times now. You were supposed to have your gentleman friend.
There was not a red carpet for this. I saw 3 people on the BET Award red carpet. Mooney Long, fucking Eva from what's her name from America's Next Top Model that be in the BET Tyler Perry shows now, and like one man. Like
I just feel like this
the
would have been
BET Hip Hop Awards low key. Like before we start actually talking about it, they're gonna have to get their shit together.
I mean, I thought this would have been a perfect opportunity for you and Ty to really get into y'all bag for real.
Plus, Ty's in LA.
Okay.
He's always in LA now.
We could have called him. We got phones. You know what I'm saying? We are a good operation over here. But better than BT. But no, let's get to it. I wanna make sure we preface this because we did watch it, but we watched it at the 11 p.m. showing, so it already went over. So I'm not sure if they removed stuff out of it because we didn't see but 1 or 2 people get an award. And they didn't even get the award. It was Fat Joe.
Nobody was there.
It was Fat Joe read off. I swear to God, I only remember Fat Joe reading off 1 award.
Yeah, he was sitting in a section.
Yeah, and it was that one weird dude looking right in the camera.
He was looking straight into the camera.
Every time. But every time he was on screen, he did that.
Let's just get into it, y'all. So the 2024 BET Hip Hop Awards was a couple days ago, and it was held in Las Vegas in a nightclub. It wasn't like an arena. It wasn't made for award shows. And this wasn't even like the biggest nightclub either. Like they held the BET Awards in Truth.
That's what it looked like.
That's crazy.
It did look like a place where you probably had to pay like $60 at the door to get in.
Yeah.
Like it definitely wasn't giving like $100 at the door kind of club.
There were a whole bunch of sections with just regular ass people in the sections. The only celebrity in the crowd was E40 because he was performing. They panned out to the audience so many times, and I don't know why they kept doing that because it was just a regular bunch of like people.
Shout out to the regular people. And
it wasn't even beautiful regular people. There were some like bad bitches in the crowd, but the crowd was full of aunties.
It was
full of aunties. Like they just came from the Usher concert to the BET Awards. It was absolutely crazy. I saw so many like full rhinestone dresses. What is happening here?
I see. The thing was, I thought I was going to be taken aback from it because it had my Fat Joe on there. You know, Fat Joe and I don't really like that beard that he shows up with.
Why was Fat Joe hosting?
The beard wasn't that bad. So that's why I could tolerate this one.
He doesn't have a hosting personality to me at all. He was literally just reading off the teleprompter. There was no sauce. There was no nothing. It's like they just, whoever was available was the person who hosted the BET Hip Hop Awards this year.
And then every time they had an available moment, they had to remind you to vote. Hey man, we ain't trying to make the party political, but sure you like. But
it is political.
Continued. And then it was sponsored by the Little Sheldon spinoff because that commercial kept playing like 1,000 times.
It was the same commercials that were playing every time during
they could
the
not get the
sponsor.
I see why it was small. They could not get the sponsors
because who wants to? There were no ciphers.
No, we got J1. You want to talk about J1?
They had J1 in a Nissan Altima or whatever it was.
It was a Nissan, but it was Imani's Nissan.
Like they had him in a Nissan and he rapped for like 12 seconds.
They did cut it off early. I end up listening to the full one. Do you want me to play the full? Okay. It was not good.
I
didn't
don't
like it.
I don't want to listen to it.
I'm not gonna say J1, his voice isn't somebody I would want to continue to listen to. I don't know if that's a New York thing for you. Might like it, but
I don't even remember what his voice sounded like. What he
the
rapped
audio was
about.
trash
I
too,
don't
though.
remember anything other than it was 12 seconds of this nigga in a car rapping with a microphone, and I thought that was weird as hell.
And then there was no soundproofing in the car, so it sounded kind of weird.
It
So that's
was-
why I don't know if that's the voice that you sell music with. That could just be your voice. But you know, it's like Playboy Cardi and all them niggas got a voice they sell music with. So maybe that just wasn't your voice that you sell music with. It just wasn't good though. Like I didn't find it interesting. You didn't say anything that made me like, oh man, this guy can really think. But they had T.I.'s son. Remember we talked about that the other day about him being a better artist than him. He wasn't good either. I didn't like his. Like that fucking. That's why I don't want to put it all on J1 because I think maybe just the setup wasn't
Nothing
good for
about
rapping.
the BET Awards was good.
Like putting a nigga in a car to rap is insane. Like, and with nobody else.
Yeah.
Like it was just by himself in the car. He was in the passenger seat. It just didn't make sense in any capacity, and it wasn't interesting at all.
Yeah, it was just a boring BET Awards this year. Like the BET Awards, the BET Hip Hop Awards have been getting more and more boring. I don't know why there were no ciphers. I think it's because the new rappers, or not even new, because it's not, the ciphers aren't always new rappers. The rappers are not rapping anymore.
I mean, it's nothing to gain from it anymore.
Like,
If you went up there and
Nobody-
said some lyrics, your shit ain't gonna get more spins.
who freestyles now other than Meg? I haven't seen a freestyle go viral since Meg's.
Saha.
That's a rapper though. Like, we know Saha is gonna get some shit off, but like
But we gotta be clear. It seems like they didn't have the budget to do anything.
no, they didn't have a budget at all. Maybe just don't have it.
Cause like really, like everybody, most people had dancers on stage with them, which was cool. The performances,
All of the dancers' outfits horrible. The dancers weren't even that good. There weren't even complicated like stage elements going on. Nothing. Everything was low budget, down to the artists' outfits that were performing, down to the dancers behind them. Everything was bad.
but to me, that felt hip hop though. If I'm being honest,
It felt
that shit-
amateur hour.
No,
for-
that shit felt hip hop. The first few performances felt amateur hour. I'll say that. What's his name? Boss Man D-Lo?
yeah.
He wasn't good. I didn't like his performance.
No, he was just walking around. You had Fat Joe perform first and then Boss Man D-Lo perform the second. Both of them low energy, fat niggas walking around the stage giving us absolutely nothing.
But it got better as it progressed. I like Trina's performance.
Trina was good. That's the only thing. And
Carisha
then
though, why did we?
I was about to say, why was Young Miami out there in a split?
I think right now we need 6 more months on Young Miami.
I don't want to see you right
Like Young
now.
Miami needs to be seen like giving food to like children in need. Like you're in Florida, like you should be doing some hurricane relief. Like
Yeah.
don't do the BET Awards right now.
Yeah, I don't know
Like
about
clean
that.
up your image.
You need some PR.
And then the fact that you call this the awards show, that's really my only regret, because everything else about this felt gritty hip hop, and that's why I was enjoying it for the most part. I like low budget things, so that's like I have fun in those environments because I can see what people try to pull out. But the fact that nobody like we saw get an award, because even the one that it was like the duo award, right, where Metro and Future won for the best duo of the year.
Yeah, and they weren't even there.
Yeah, nobody was there to accept the awards. Nobody did like a video call or nothing. Like we didn't get any kind of engagement. And I want to talk about the nigga who cleaned house, Mr. For the People, for the culture, and then he was nowhere to be found. Kendrick Lamar.
Of course, he didn't show up. Really quick, before we get into the performances, before we get into the awards, let's talk about the performances just really quickly. 2 Chainz performed 2 times.
Yeah, I remember that.
He came out 2 times. 301 Baby, the left, do it. Let me see you do it. Right. Like, Flo J performed. Why?
You need to be shooting up jump shots, baby girl.
And it wasn't even it was a pre-recorded on a different stage.
Yeah, it was
with
everything.
17 people in the crowd.
That joint was extremely jarring when they did that little crowd shot.
Big Boogie, Boss Man D-Lo, E40 performed. Did Glorilla perform? Glorilla wasn't there. Why is she on this list?
I don't remember seeing her.
No, she was not there. Juicy J performed.
His was good. I wonder was that money fake though? Because he did drop them bands, and I think he threw in mix a fake and
Yeah,
real.
probably.
Because he was throwing money from himself too. So
Roscoe Dash performed with Soulja Boy, and then Trina and Young Miami.
I think the Soulja Boy performance was actually really good.
I enjoy Soulja Boy. Honestly.
I forgot he did that song with Roscoe. I forgot he was on the remix of Roscoe.
Roscoe, what happened to Roscoe Dash? Man?
Oh, he got kicked out of Atlanta. He was out there trying to play around, play tough for a little bit, and he got kicked out of Atlanta. He been in Augusta for years.
Oh no.
I remember when that happened too.
Yeah, I don't remember that at all.
And then what was the other nigga that was with T.I.?
T.I. performed?
No, I'm just saying he was with T.I. before. It was like it was the same futuristic. Was that Roscoe Dash? Where he did with T.I.? It was T.I. Young Dro song. I think that might have been Roscoe. But I remember Roscoe Dash. He got kicked out of the city.
Yeah,
he was trying to play too tough, and it was like, nah, big
that's
dog.
unfortunate.
You
sir.
gotta get out of here. Mr. Shawty put it on me. But what were we about to get into next? You said
the awards that were not given out. So that's another thing. There were no actual awards given out. Nobody came up to accept any awards
except Travis.
It kind of seemed like a BET concert series.
Yeah.
It was not an award show.
It felt like how they were doing it when we had the pandemic.
Yes,
and everybody just put music after music after music. I enjoyed
that. Versus was better.
I enjoyed that though. I enjoyed
Versus was literally a better production
than this.
Yes,
I'd say
there
were better verses that were than this performance.
Yes,
I would say on average, if you took all of them in its entirety, it was about the same.
Okay,
same product.
So hip hop artist of the year was Kendrick Lamar, who cleaned up.
Nigga won everything.
Like you were saying, yeah.
And nigga, it was like 12. What you said? 12 BET awards he won.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That's insane.
Song of the year, Not Like Us, Kendrick Lamar.
Impact of the year.
Hip hop album of the year was Pink Friday 2, Nicki Minaj. Best hip hop video, Not Like Us, Kendrick Lamar. Best breakthrough hip hop artist, Sexy Red. Best collaboration was Like That. Future, Metro Boomin, Kendrick Lamar. Best duo, Future, Metro Boomin. Best live performer, Missy Elliott. Lyricist of the year, Kendrick Lamar. Video director of the year, Dave Free and Kendrick Lamar.
Yo, that was crazy. When I seen Dave Free won the director of the year, because what in the world? What are we doing here, yo? I think Kendrick won it too, right?
Huh?
He won director of the year too with him, right? It was co-directed by them. The Not Like Us video.
I don't know. Producer of the year was Alchemist, who
produced
Not Like Us, I think. Or one of the songs.
He did produce one of the diss songs.
DJ of the year, also Alchemist, The Alchemist. Best hip hop platform, Club Shay Shay.
Okay, that was the craziest one. You want to talk about that one real quick?
Yeah, because so on the list was Bootleg Kev, Complex, Drink Champs, $1 million worth of Game, On the Radar, The Breakfast Club, Joe Budden Podcast, The Shade Room, and Double XL.
Okay, so the one thing that's messed up is that DJ Ac's not on there in any capacity.
Fuck DJ Academic.
I know you're gonna say that, but regardless of what you want to say, he is deserving to be on that. He covered the Drake beef better than anyone else. Roy and Mal probably deserve to be on there too. You probably could put them on there. But Joe probably should have won. I'm not even gonna hate. Everybody think we hate on Joe. I think Joe probably should have won that.
As far as hip hop platform, then I do agree with you. I feel like JBP should have won.
The Shannon Sharp is more of a comedian show than it is hip hop, because it's comedian and sports. Those are his two biggest
I don't think
draws.
You could label Club Shay Shay as a hip hop platform. He has rappers on there sometimes, but it's not a hip hop platform. That's not what it's based on.
His biggest acts, his biggest performing shows have either been comedians or
athletes. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just odd for him. I know why they're doing it. It's money being paid, things are being exchanged. Favors are being done here and there. I'm pretty sure we're going to see Shannon do a BET spot somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? So we see what's going on. I'm not mad at Shannon for it, but it's like, where is the integrity of the request? Like, if you are encouraging people, like if you're saying this is the best hip hop platform, you're encouraging people to strive for this, but then hip hop is a third, fourth note on it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how are you saying that this is what you want to implement going forward? That's what I look at these awards to be. Like, you're the person, especially these culture awards, like country music award. Like, I look at that as this is who this faction of people believe to be the standard of what we're doing right now. And for at least that one, you do all the Kendrick Lamar shit. He did what he had to do this year. I don't care. But for that, and this the field that we in, that's egregious.
Yeah.
Especially coming from our people. Like, that's fucking nuts.
So Hustler of the Year is 50 Cent. Like,
that's just, like, why do we have Hustler of the Year? Why do we need that? You might as well just call him Entrepreneur of the Year or Black Entrepreneur of the Year.
Yes.
That would have been more appropriate.
That would have, yeah.
Because Hustler has this like negative connotation, like he's deceiving us.
Yeah.
He makes movies and TV shows. There's no deception.
I think maybe we should take the negative connotation out of hustler, because I feel like people think of hustler as just like somebody who works hard and who really like tries to get to it.
I mean, I feel like we should put back in there, because we shouldn't be in this mindset you got to hustle and bustle for somebody else to make way more than what you're making off of it. You know me, when we get into that worker politics, I don't try to encourage me to work harder when you're not paying me more.
Best featured verse was Like That. The winner was Kendrick Lamar's verse. Impact track was Not Like Us.
Did PG Lang fund this? Were they one of the sponsors? Like, that's what it looks like.
TDE and PG Lang, maybe. Ooh. And best international flow was Gets from the UK. Have you heard no idea.
I've never heard of Gets before.
Yeah, so there was a couple people from the UK. It was 2 people from the UK: Bashi, Stefflon Don, and then Maglera Doughboy from South Africa, Blackie from South Africa, Udumo Boo Bluck.
Did they win anything? Or you just what are those names referenced to?
No, those are who was nominated for best international flow.
Oh,
SMD France, Lays MC France. I don't know any of these people. Buddha from Brazil and somebody else from Brazil.
It's gonna be the next wave. Just wait. We're gonna be sitting there saying these names like they normal soon.
Yeah.
Oh man, but overall, like I get what you're upset with it, and I see what other people saying like it looks cheap and poor and all that stuff. I just appreciate the gritty hip hop of it. I just hate that the people who are supposed to be hip hop don't show out for it, even if it is quote unquote low budget.
Because it was in a club with sections.
Get a section.
Like, what the fuck? And then the ciphers, like the BET Hip Hop Awards have always been like a cultural moment because of the ciphers, and I think taking the ciphers away was a huge mistake. Like those could have been pre-recorded and just added in too, but like I wonder what the thought process of like not doing them. Like I don't think that y'all couldn't get rappers to do the ciphs.
I think it's the artists. The artists don't do that anymore. That's not something that. When is the last time you would even seen somebody go up to the radio station and do one of those, like the LA leakers and stuff like that?
Yeah,
they don't even go viral like that.
The only one that I can remember going viral was Meg.
Mm-hmm. So like, I mean, even those freestyles don't go viral the same way they used to. That art is just, it's being kind of lost. It's like really, it's just a dopamine hit. That's what music is now. Mm-hmm. That's why I think Glorilla's doing so well, because her music is just a straight dopamine hit. She be doing a damn thing. So that's why I can't really sit there and be like, oh, I'm mad that they ain't doing the ciphers, when it's like the cipher and ain't making no money no more. It ain't even looking like it's making any money. The illusion of having that kind of skill, just think of like battle rap, where that's at. So that's what I don't have a problem with it. I just feel bad that everybody wants to say, oh, what about the BET? What about BET? And then we go to the BET Awards and it's a bunch of regular people that I could have went to the club with and Fat Joe.
They did the cipher last year. That's
what I'm saying. It just seems to be not as, whatchamacallit. And then like I said, we had 6 commercials. Fair. How much money did they have? Like, he had 6 commercials.
It was just
Little Sheldon's spinoff was literally every time it went off. We saw that at the beginning and we saw that as the last commercial.
Yeah.
Before it came back on.
Oh my God, yo. I think that y'all should have just not put on the BET Awards if the funds weren't there, the BET Hip Hop Awards, because the BET Awards also happened and it was not bad.
Or maybe we need to get some more people involved in this. Shit, Jay-Z, I know you going away with the NFL now and re-up to deal with them, but when is it going to be?
Oh, he re-upped the NFL deal?
Yeah, he just re-upped this. They just announced it. So
okay.
I don't know if they announced how long, but they did say he is going to be continuing doing it now.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But so it's just, you have all of this. And to me, that's what makes it funny to me, is like Kendrick Lamar gets all of this love for being the culture. An event like this that is literally on its knees, stroking him 12 times. He couldn't even make an appearance. He can't make a show. They don't have no TDE, PG Lang, anything. But this is the nigga y'all saying is, oh, he hip hop, he for the culture, he what we've been missing.
It's really sad to see I was sad watching the BET Hip Hop Awards. I was like, why do black people not value this? Why don't, like, we all just stop watching BET. Whenever we get our own shit that's like for us, we eventually like throw it away, I feel like.
I mean, we've been so BET. I mean, it hasn't been owned by a black person in decades.
And mad long, too.
So, I mean, it's just another product, like the Telenuvo channels and all that shit. Like, it's just another product to them.
Yeah.
And if they don't have to put a whole bunch of money in it, they won't.
We need to stop selling our shit.
I mean, you can't tell people that because their goal is to make more money. So why, and to do less work. We just seen it with T.I. We talked about them getting that award, and what's the first thing they announced from the family?
He's not gonna be doing shows no more.
Well, the daughter buys a car, and then he announces that they're no longer doing any live shows. He's done with that. Did he try to play like I matured past that kind of thing? Didn't he try to say that?
You can't mature past hip hop.
No, not that mature. He's talking about live performing.
You like what?
I just think that when it just shows that these people aren't hardworking. They're not that much more exceptional than the rest of us. Because what do everybody say if I hit the lottery? What I'm doing? Stop working.
Yeah.
So
I don't think it's hardworking. I just want people to stop pursuing a career in music just for financial gain. It's easy to say, but like I really want people who are passionate about making music to make music. And I want that to be the only reason that you're making music. It's a very altruistic or whatever point of view, but I would like for only people who are passionate about the art that they're making to make the art.
I mean, that would sound nice, but we see what a hot song can put you into the algorithm, and then when you just start
100%.
putting your life out there like that, it can be easily consumed. And so it's like, why would I sit in the studio for? Some people say it'll take like 2 days, 3 days to do a song, or 3 or 4 songs, stuff like that. Folks who, like you would say, care about the art, care about the music, 2 or 3 days, and they may only do one song to completion. So why am I going to spend that many hours to try to make pennies off of my product when I put it on DSPs or whatever, trying to sell it, when I can just make a hit, get popular, and then get money everywhere else and focus on everywhere else is going to bring me my money.
Yeah.
And then it just affects things like the BET Award. So, I mean, it is what it is, man. It's just unfortunately part of the system, and there's nobody who wants to invest in it in a real way.
No.
Maybe T.I. will with his newfound funds.
I don't think he will.
Yeah, I think we're not going to hear from T.I. for a while.
I think he's probably just going to open maybe like another thing in Atlanta, or open another trap museum in another state, maybe like LA or something like that, New York. And I don't think he's going to do anything that's going to benefit his community, because none of these rich niggas do much that benefit their community.
No,
it's not on their docket.
No, I mean, it's not important to them. Why would it be, Sexual health is an important thing. I think that it's been kind of clear that it's been extremely lacking over the last few
forever
days. It's been more exposed. The light has just been on it. Y'all have all run around like cockroaches, and we've seen now that y'all are miseducated individuals and they don't understand. So there was an individual we've seen it be covering these sex worker topics very often. But it was an individual in the sex work industry. She went out young, I think she was about 19, 20 years old.
I don't know.
I think she was like 19, 20 years old. And she goes out and she claims that another performer, content creator in that industry knowingly gave her herpes.
Yeah.
So what she claims is she saw a open wound on the man's genitals and continued to still perform with him. And then she contracted it herself. The gentleman goes by the name of Gucci Third Leg. Pause if necessary. And pretty much after that happened, it went into a frenzy on Twitter. Because if you don't know about Twitter, the X community is a lot of the sex workers post their content there. They get paid off of it there. And they do a lot of spaces. Spaces was crazy. Everybody was talking about who worked with them, who didn't. They were talking about the test and all that stuff.
It went crazy on TikTok too, because there were a lot of like streamers and stuff that had like people in common with
who worked with
people who have slept with Gucci Third Leg.
Yeah, because basically I think Ada Ross, Sky Bree had said she performed with. It was a white girl that he did.
I don't know about the white people, but Deshae
Frost. He had the girl. On his show, and he even bit her butt.
Had to like get tested on stream or something and show his results.
See, but that was the part that I was upset about, because the streamers got a hold of it and just turned it straight into content. And the thing about you young niggas, but see, that's the thing was like, there is no code to them. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a problem with you making this content, but like really come with scientific information, something that you could go back and at least. That's crazy to think to say. That they should at least have some type of real information that's been researched or discussed and talked about amongst that. I understand making it into a gang. Like the nigga had a fake doctor in there talking about you allergic. I mean, you got herpes, but you got niggonitis or something like that.
Oh, I didn't niggonitis.
Yeah, it's what Deshaun did. Deshaun Frost or whatever. Deshae Frost.
Yeah.
And he ran around his house talking about it like, oh no, I got the niggonitis. And it's like, okay, I get it, but then y'all aren't really explaining nothing. Like you could at least had a real doctor there, gave a 5 minutes to just talk about sexual health in a real way.
Nobody wants education and nobody wants things to be rational. It's a show that he has to put on. So he's going to get a fake doctor come on and put on a show with him, and then he's going to make it as entertaining as possible. Like, it's not, I don't think the streamers feel that they have a responsibility to put out accurate information because of the amount of content that they need to put out too. Like, they be streaming for hours and hours on end.
No, they do. But that's the problem with the content. There's no need for you to have any level of accountability, any level of just care about your fellow man in it. That's the part of me. I feel like even if we talk about and we joke about something, I want us to still be able to go back and give good information that if you took it to a reputable source, they would say, okay, yeah, this is what they meant, or this is what they're talking about. And it's just crazy. So I think this is a clip of the girl right here. I just want to play real quick.
Sex culture and hoe culture and all that kind of stuff. Again, I am in no way trying to defame anybody. I am not trying to hurt anybody when saying this. I am just trying to save people from going through what a lot of people have gone through in this industry. It is real, and there's worse happening too. Behind the scenes, people are catching HIV too.
So my thing is, again, in that industry, there is their version of safe sex looks a little different. It's not always with condoms and stuff like that. It's with multiple testings.
There's very strenuous requirements when you're a sex worker that's working for a company specifically. But if you're like independent, that's up to you to require shit like that. But like, my chart is online. Like, you can access that. You can pull it up and access it. So sex workers usually get tested weekly.
They try to stay regular.
Yeah, like they know their status like very rigorously.
But that's what I'm saying. It's not really these people with companies anymore. This is guerrilla.
Yeah.
This is guys who just got a camera and a platform, and here we go. What it seemed like with her is, just from people discussing about it, she kind of fell for the guy. And she kind of thought this was going to be a bigger thing between them two. And then when it came out that it wasn't going to be that, and she was just another one on the list, that's when this kind of defaming exercise came out. Because a lot of people don't know you can perform with herpes in sex work. You just have to sign a document that says it.
As long as you're not having an active flare up, I believe, then you can have safe sex with herpes. There's like pills and drugs for you to take now too that keep everything together. And then also, herpes is not on the regular STD panel. So they'll test you for HIV, chlamydia, gonorrhea, all that stuff. Herpes is not on there because there are so many different types of herpes. And then there are false positives that come out also all the time. And it's not really like a super reliable test. And then also, if herpes was regularly tested, everybody would have herpes.
That's some form.
Everyone has herpes in some way, shape, or form. So like, it's odd.
In the sense of like, you got cold sores, you have the genital herpes, the HV2, I believe that's called. Then you also have like kids, like when you're a little kid, you can get hand and foot and mouth disease.
Yeah.
Which is basically you have a herpes virus on it as a baby.
Yeah.
That can now show up and things of that nature. So people look at it, but it's also the same token, like herpes, especially if you're medicated on it, it doesn't really change your life. Like you can listen to countless people, countless doctors talk about it. You won't show up on any kind of test. You won't have any
usually undetected.
Flares. And also for a lot of people, folks don't know this. You could have it and never show a sign of it. You could never have a flare up. It can be inside of your body and you never know. And you may be able to spread it, but you wouldn't be able to know that you had it yourself. So it's like there's a lot of stuff that people don't understand about it. And just to be honest, a lot of y'all are just the losers in this world who want to empower stigmas because you want to feel like you're better than someone, because when you look in the mirror, you're not. You're corny, you're lame, nobody wants to fuck you. So you have to like go to things like sexual health and comparing that to you and other people so that you can feel better than yourself. But you're not. Like, you're really just empowering loser shit. So you really should just think about educating yourself and understand that just because someone has something, that doesn't mean they're not human. They're still a person.
And you're not better than them.
Yeah, you're probably still worse. Because like people think of like this STD thing, like it's just like you go around and you're just sleeping with so many people recklessly, and that doesn't really how a lot of people happen. A lot of times it happens. One person's doing that, and he's infecting people who are not doing that.
Yeah. Sometimes it's like you have no idea. Like sometimes you catch STDs in a committed monogamous relationship. One person is monogamous, one person isn't. Like, you don't always have to be a whore to catch STDs. Sometimes it's just an unfortunate accident.
You ever get one of them calls before from somebody?
No.
I have. She said she was burning.
No.
Yeah, she called me up and was like, I don't know what was going on, but I had chlamydia. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. Like, I'm gonna see what's going on, because I get regularly my blood work done on. So it's like, it's not like it's getting tested for that, but if something like that came up in my blood, they would have to tell me. So I was like, well, that happened to me, and I know me and you wasn't, being the safest in regards to that. Went to there, it was good, no chlamydia. Lost that. I'm like, no, get off me. Gucci third leg, he goes on the offense. He ends up with DJ Academics and Aiden Ross. So they do like a live collab stream together where he goes on the screen and he shows his my chart from 2023. So my man, it's about 10 months in, my guy. You could have been got a new one. So
if you're a sex worker, then that's concerning that your last STD test was 10 months ago.
Or the one that you can produce.
Yeah. No, you should have one from like no less than 2 weeks ago. If you
maybe
regularly... No less than 2 weeks ago, if you regularly are performing with new women on your platform.
So then he goes down and he shows the list and shows that he does have cold sores. Like he has the virus that creates cold sores and stuff like that. So he got this positive on there. And what you got to understand on the internet, and me and her have these conversations all the time, is you are broadcasting to a majority of idiots.
People who don't know
So
things.
if you can give them any little bit of slide through to get in, they're going to take it.
Yeah.
So with the fact that you got positive anything on that test,
They took it and ran with it.
they're going to run with it, Mr. Gucci third leg, to the point where he was supposed to come up with a recent test to Aiden Ross the next day. He didn't even show up. That nigga Aiden was pissed. They was like, Aiden's like, yeah, he's definitely got it now.
Yeah.
But I don't, like I said, to me, I just think we keep empowering these stigmas overall, just because, again, it just makes us feel like we're better than what we are. But in the same token, like, we could be helping way more people not have these experiences where they feel like I got to kill. Like, people feel like they got to kill themselves if they were contracted with herpes or something like that, which is like, that's insane.
That's not necessary.
That stems from literally public pressure. That doesn't come from anything else. Like, I'm just reading some of these tweets of people about it, and it was funny. This one girl went down a list of all the things that she's, I'm negative for X, Y, and Z.
Oh my God.
And then I said this to her. She was like, and then she ended the tweet, which killed me. This is what pissed me off. I'm going to read the whole thing. She says, no herpes, no chlamydia, no gonorrhea, no HIV, no STDs. Anybody who calls it STDs, that's a red flag that they're an idiot. Because
STI.
anybody now who is actually informed and talks to doctors about this regularly calls them STIs. Mm-hmm. So the fact that she's calling it STD lets you know.
But people still call them STDs.
Yeah, but they're wrong. That's what I'm saying. They're wrong to call it that. And then she ends it with, health is very important. So I responded and said, you don't care about health. You care about empowering a stigma that makes you feel superior to others. And at the end of the day, that's all it is. Mm-hmm. That's all it is.
There's lots of different ways that people on the internet feel
more.
like they're better than other people.
One more thing I'll add here too. No one's here telling you you should or you're forced to have sex with anyone who has these conditions or anything like that. We're saying that you can just treat people like they're human. And if you don't want to engage with that, respectfully don't engage with it.
Yeah.
But don't disrespect them.
You don't have to punch down on people.
You don't have to feel like you're better than. They're probably not even really punching down. You just feel like you're punching down because of just the perspective that you're looking at it at.
Yeah.
That's the real insane part about it. We've been meaning to talk about this girl for a while now. We've talked about her sports wise, but now that she's in the podcasting world, we kind of gotta. I feel like it's on us to bring her up a little bit more.
Yeah,
because she's been wilding a little bit.
She's been having a good amount of like viral moments on her show.
She's definitely making it the Birdcast. So Angel Reese from Chicago. She's a what is the Chicago? What I can't think. Chicago Sky.
You're asking me about some sports.
She has her own podcast, and we've been meaning to talk about it for a while because she's had like different little moments on there.
Yeah.
She had one where it was basically like the group chat call with her, Lotto. Who else was on there? Where they were just giving it up. Really, they was talking about it in like detail about the kind of niggas they after. That joint was crazy. I thought it was interesting because I wanted to run this by you. She said during that time too that she felt like she can only be with NBA players. Like that's the only guy that she
Angel?
can date. Yeah. Like that's the only guy she's dating is NBA players.
Did she say why?
I think in her mind, that's the perfect combination for her.
Well, yeah, she's tall as fuck.
But I think she also looks at somebody like the Kai girl who's with Jaylen Brown. And you remember they was all together. So I'm pretty sure she sees that as if the girl who's getting 3 points a game is getting this, I should be somewhere in that market as well. You know what I'm saying? Because I get more rebounds than her. To me, that's her. I know she's young, so I feel like that's where her brain is operating at.
Yeah.
Because even then, she like dropped a video not too long ago. She's talking about the WNBA not being able to pay her lifestyle and all that other stuff.
Yeah, she said her rent is like $7,000 and the WNBA doesn't pay her bills. But that's not surprising. The WNBA does not pay a lot. She makes probably most of her money off endorsements and the other stuff that she does.
But to me, it seems like, why would you do that when the league is trying to push up and get, things into a better situation?
Why would you do what?
Why are you bringing in the negativity? Why are you bringing something that can be sparked out with the negativity regarding pay and things of that nature?
Do you not think it's just visibility?
What do you mean just visibility?
Like, we're having a conversation about WNBA and their pay and their salary. So do you think that we would be having this conversation if she didn't say that?
I feel like in a more formal way, not in a I'm on a live, almost look like I'm drunk talking trash. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I didn't know she was on live.
That's why I heard it. I didn't know she was drunk. I'm not saying I talk about what it looked like. I didn't say anything what she was. Okay. I said what it looked like. I'm on a live, inebriated, talking trash. To me, that just doesn't look like a good look. There's nothing wrong with having a conversation about the fair pay and things of that nature. But when you do it like that, it brings more hate to the league than it does promise.
You think that she could have had, I don't know. It kind of teeter-totters on the respectability politics thing. Like, you think that she should have brought it up in a more respectable manner instead of just like casually on live. Yeah,
because you've already signed a contract. You've already agreed to the terms.
Yeah.
So don't get on there and shit on us, because you can get fined for that in the NBA.
Can you?
Yeah, they'll find that's contract detriment to the team.
Okay.
So you could get fined for that. There's a whole bunch of issues that could arise from that kind of conversation, and to not put it in a more formal manner, again, allows for the league to take whatever they're going, precautions they're going to take against her. To me, what seems to be the problem is, and nobody seems to be talking about this in a real way, and it's disappointing, especially that there's tons of older black women who played in the league and are not addressing this. There is a serious issue where all of the women are conducting themselves or looks to be moonlighting as escort video girls, and the only white girl just gets to play basketball the whole time.
What are you talking about?
Look at Angel Reese just posted a picture. Had her ass all out in the picture.
Yeah, she had them legs spread open.
Yeah, cool. You do that, but that comes with a thought and a connotation. She said earlier, before she got drafted, I've been sexualized. So now when you say that, I'm talking about how the audience presents. I'm not talking about how she needs to perform. The audience sees that and says, okay, she has a problem with that, being sexualized, and because she's not saying I'm being harassed. She's not saying I'm being taunted. I'm being disrespected. I'm being sexualized. That's a general statement.
You made a statement making it seem like there's a bunch of other women doing. So who else?
Jade, what's her name? Her name was Jade or something. She just had a video. She just had a picture where she had her ass in some little baby ass shorts, and then she had another one. She showed her forward her look. Because
the pretty girls are definitely doing that. Like a lot
of the girls are doing that.
Yeah, I haven't. What I'm saying is, I just need. Like, I need you to give me more than 2 examples.
You can see the Kai had an outfit where she was dressed out. She had very revealing, showing her. She was doing like a photo shoot or whatever.
But like, the women in the WNBA, also some of them are bad bitches.
Nobody's saying they aren't. I'm saying what I'm saying is take a step back. Don't look at the individuals anymore. Look at the step back.
Caitlyn is not a bad bitch.
Okay, cool. Again, take a step back.
All she can do is dribble.
Okay, again, take a step back. If we're talking about a basketball league where the one girl who is just playing basketball could arguably be the one making the most money off endorsements and everything else, the white girl gets to play basketball and the rest of y'all have to show y'all ass for attention. You don't think
they have to, or are they
to
just
make money?
choosing?
Yes. To make money, yes. They have to show their ass for attention. You don't look at that as a problem? Just like from a stepping back where I'm like, cool, do what you want, respectability on your own personal determination factor of that. But now I'm looking back and we are enabling a system where where the black women have to come here and essentially be akin to video
If Caitlyn
IG girls.
was a generally conventionally attractive girl who could do the same things as Angel and didn't, then I would agree with you. But she can't. Like if
there's
if
a white
Caitlyn decided to have a photo shoot the same as Angel did, she wouldn't be sexualized because she's not sexy.
I'll argue. I'll put a different statement to you. So the number 2 pick in the WNBA draft was also a white girl, tall white girl, very stunning. Everyone has. That's one of the things they say she looked like a supermodel. You don't see her in none of these kind of imagery.
Okay.
Even before then, she may have worn.
What is her name? Who is this lady?
Cameron Brink, I believe that's her name.
I've never heard of her.
I'll bring her up for you. Cameron Brink. I don't see the same kind of performance she does, even though she does some of the baddie stuff. She does some of the baddie kind of, I'm wearing this outfit, wearing that outfit, got my hair all done. See, look. The most stuff you see her in that's revealing is sportswear. And she's a stunning girl. Like she did the Skims thing, but that was a WNBA promotion. So I'm just saying, like, you can do it and not have to look like you're a video girl or IG model. But it seems that the only popular ones that are black in the WNBA are IG models, looking like IG models when they're not playing ball. And again, do what you want, but you also have to look at what is the system pushing y'all to do. And there needs to be, and I'm just perplexed that there is no elder black statesman who has said this, or stateswoman that has said this, who have made this call.
Oh, she a whole bad bitch on her Instagram.
Let me see.
Let me pull it up.
Is it revealing though? Because you can be a bad bitch in nice clothes.
Let me pull up her Instagram.
Like, are you seeing her ass? Is she like turned around behind her?
She's not turned around.
That's what I'm saying. Do you see her back in any of these pictures?
The white girls don't be turning around though, because they don't.
Yes, they do. If they have an ass, they will. That's all I'm saying is you got to think about it critically.
Yeah, they're like cute girl like.
Yeah, it's nothing crazy. The Skims is the most revealing thing, and that got the sign off from the WNBA.
Yeah, the Skims and this one too.
That's not that bad either though. She's not showing her ass.
Oh, this is still Skims.
You know what I'm saying? She's not showing her ass. That's the thing I'm saying about. Like, I don't have a problem a girl in revealing clothing, but you know me, the moment I see your IG and you got your back on your IG, I'm saying, okay, you just to get hit. You're not a woman to take seriously anymore. In my mind,
she doesn't really do that.
But that's, to me, is a very clear sign of having a boundary with this. I'm going to be sexy. I'm not going to start blurring the lines into whoredom and harlotdom. That's what. Come on, I can find you pictures of Angel Reese that look just like Ruby Rose.
Yeah.
So again, to me, that's an issue. That should be a problem.
Because only the black women.
Because only the black women are the ones that are doing it like that. Even the Kelsey Plum girl, who they be going crazy over her, you don't see her nothing like that. She gets to strictly just be basketball.
I have to look all these people up.
We talked about Kelsey Plum. She's the one who dated the wide receiver from the Giants.
Okay,
that retired.
I still have to look her up.
Remember he did that corny music video?
I still got.
I'm just trying to refresh your memory because
but I don't know what she looked like, so that's why I got to look her up.
And then she got Kayla Nicole on there doing this bird cast shit. Like, that's the shit that's killing me too. Where it's like there's nothing here. Where it's like everything feels like it flows the way it should be. You just a bird.
That Kayla Nicole shit was corny as fuck. Like, I think that she should have just stayed quiet because you being the scorned woman was a better look for you than, I don't know what you look like now. You just look corny as fuck.
She looked
like
thirsty.
You look lame as hell. She told this story on Angel Reese's podcast, and she basically, I didn't even know this. We wouldn't have, well, some people knew because you posted it, but the rest of us wouldn't have known this. Apparently she was with Iman before Iman was with Tiana. Iman left her for Tiana Taylor. Apparently if you want to find your wife, date Kayla Nicole. Yeah. And then you'll find your wife.
She'll put you in the right direction.
You'll find a upstanding woman after that.
She'll be your North Star.
Yeah. So he left her for Tiana, which is not a bad move at all. And for some reason, she decides to dress up as Tiana Taylor from the Faded video for Halloween after Iman left her. I don't know what type of twisted, convoluted, insecure, lame bitch shit that is. I don't know what type of weird ass backflips your mind had to do to make you think that was okay, and then leave the photo up, and then multiple years later go on a podcast and tell that shit as if it's some cute or funny or interesting story. Like, what the fuck was that? I was just sitting there like,
That's what happened when they swirlers. That's what the swirlers do. That's what
like,
they be
okay,
on.
bitch, you could have kept this to your fucking self.
She showed her ass that whole. Then did another one where she's talking about the reason why her and Travis broke up was the rumor was he wasn't trying to foot the bill for her anymore. And Angel asked her, do you go 50-50? And she says, does she look like she go 50-50? No, Kayla, you look like you go 100% now. Like, you got to pay the whole bill.
You by yourself.
And then she admitted to it later on in the thing, like that it was a financial thing going on with that, where it was like, yeah, he wasn't trying to cover everything for her. She later on admitted that, and like she said it on the low, but she admitted that. And it's like, what would he get from being married to you? Like, what would he get from forwarding your lifestyle? Like, at some point, you gotta kind of put that in your head.
The flip was crazy because now he's with Taylor Swift, America's white sweetheart.
Yeah, somebody who he'll never have to worry about that with.
No, she has more money than him.
10 times over.
Much more money than him.
20 times over, probably.
She has private jets.
He got to call his owner to get a private jet.
Like, goddamn.
So that's
she
why
got so much more motion than he do.
Like, and it's, to me, it's so funny to me because it's like, yo, do you not understand what you bring to the nigga? Like, you in particular, Kayla, you are a nice looking girl. Mm-hmm. Ain't shit really else. If you ain't being quiet, if you're not being cooperative, you're not really that much after that. And I could just see with the antics that she's done since then, she's not that kind of lady.
No, because of the antics that you've done since then, like, I'm so mad that I'm not mad at Travis for leaving you.
Iman Shumpert, Travis Kelce, and what do you have to show for it now?
Nothing.
Time and a used up cooch.
You're just a fumbler of rich niggas. You fumble rich niggas.
She seems like she seems like one of those girls who she feels like I am enough in my present form, and that's why I deserve all this. And it's like, no, you're enough when you comply. You're beautiful. That puts you in the running. But when niggas like that, if they see that you have a trend of not complying, there's nothing that you bring to them but trouble. So I could, like, her performance and the way she act like this make me understand why these niggas go after the old bras now. Because if you acting like that and you around these niggas' age, why wouldn't I just go with the old bitch?
Well,
she know how to act.
The old broads have codes that they definitely go by, and there are some. Is it
codes or is it I've learned from past mistakes?
Nah, these rappers be going after the same chicks because they know the rules.
But I don't feel like, I feel like over time they learn the rules from mistakes. And then they like Drea, to me, I feel like Drea thinks about all the niggas that she was with, the fact that she was more mouthy. We've seen her before all the time. Now we barely hear from her unless she's selling us something.
I think the girls that, like the older girls that got picked by the young niggas, like we didn't really hear from them that much. Like they were never the girls who talk that, like she was on like Basketball Wives and stuff. Yeah. But
Nikki Baby, she talk.
Yeah, you're right. You're
talk.
Right. They talk.
They learn from their experience.
They shut the fuck up.
And now they know, you hear them now. I was watching the clip the other day. LeVar was talking about how much he loves her. Because she got her business together. She doing all this. She got her own bread.
She's had a business for a long time. Since she was on Love and Hip Hop.
That took time. Beforehand, she was probably a leech.
On Love and Hip Hop, from what I remember, like her parents have money. Mm-hmm. So she was using like,
you still leech off them.
Yeah, no, but like she was somebody who had that standard for her entire life because she comes from like a pretty That's what they said. Her parents are strip clubs. They like own strip clubs and stuff. Yeah, so she was.
But that's still a different kind of money though.
It is. She was in the family business, and then she had like her own clothing boutique, and she ran like the dad's clubs and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So so she been had.
She come from a business acclimate.
Yes,
that doesn't mean we got the same sensibilities because just because you got money, you don't get class.
No, definitely. She was on Love and Hip Hop.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's just a different with it. But the fact that what LeVar saw was the fact that he just loved her business acclimate.
You know who I be thinking about, though? That I feel like should be some rapper's baby mama, something. Bria Miles.
Mm-hmm. She used to date an NBA player.
We've never heard her speak. I've never heard Bria speak. It might be just because she's dark skinned. If she was light skinned with all that, she would have been put up a long time ago.
I mean, she could have been like Maya. Maya not put up. I think
Maya don't seem like she want to be put up, though.
I think a lot of times that when you're that attractive, it's
intimidating.
It's not intimidating. You don't.
She's talented too.
I'm saying when you're as attractive as she is, along with the talent and all that other stuff, it's not that it's intimidating. There's nothing to negotiate with.
You can't put her in a box.
Yeah, you can't negotiate with her.
But Bria, she's wildly attractive, but like,
I mean, I don't know. I'm just talking about. You said she was light skinned. I said she could end up like Mia. So that's what I meant by that.
Yeah.
Let me see. Was there anything else we need to talk about with Angel's podcast? Was there anything other to address? Like I got all my concerns out.
I'm just glad
the birdcaster.
I'm glad Angel stopped wearing just blush. I said that a while ago. She stopped doing that.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, because it was weird. It was just like blush is a thing that you put on with a full face.
She's paying more people now. The expenses are expensive. You can tell.
Yes, definitely.
But
she looks good. She's been looking real good.
Lisa Leslie, Cheryl Swoop, Cheryl Miller, all of y'all, shame on y'all. Y'all should be coaching these young women to stop acting like these harlots. Stop it.
Maybe, that's just unfortunately what the WNBA players got to do if they're not like
that's just so disheartening.
Top level performers in sports. Like I saw somebody say that you've been seeing Angel Reese all over the place. Like her manager is getting her in these rooms and they're making her a brand instead of just a basketball player, which will in the long run get her more money.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that what she's doing is in any way, shape, or form wrong. I'm just taking a step back, looking at it in totality, and asking myself, what would this be viewed from an outside person's perspective if they see this wide sweeping trend amongst the young girls that's coming into the league?
As far as, I'm just going to say this one last thing. As far as Angel Reese is concerned, if I was like 20, 21, on my way to being rich as fuck, and I got a fat ass, I'm going to take a picture, toot it up, see it. Period. But I don't, so...
Yeah, but see,
she's hot, rich, young, and single. And then, show that ass, girl. Make that ass shake.
And then those politically prudes who have billions of dollars who wanted to give it to you look at that picture and go, "Oh, well, she can't promote our brand now anymore." And then y'all get mad at them. Oh, they're hating. They hate black women. Do you want to get into that? Your boys came up again.
Oh my God. So yeah, I've been seeing James and Fuhad be dragged on the timeline on TikTok specifically again, Shxts and gigs. Because, and Poor Minds. Poor Minds has been getting dragged too. They usually get dragged by men, but now they're getting dragged by women. Because in retrospect, the women, it's because Lex said something on this most recent episode of Poor Minds with Mel. So she brought it up and she said that it was kind of like it felt like a defensive thing. Like the answer that y'all gave them was not sufficient enough for us. Like y'all reaction was not what we wanted y'all to have in retrospect when we look back at it. So now Lex, I feel like she felt like she had to go back and address it again a little bit more aggressively in the proper way. But it came off like, it didn't come off great.
Can I
go ahead?
What do you mean the proper way? Because like even on their show, they had a discussion on baddies in the city. Mm-hmm. They didn't say anybody was ugly. They said they didn't see any baddies. So I mean, like, what was the thing that she felt up in arms about?
Who?
Lex.
So initially when they said that they didn't see any baddies in Atlanta, it was just weird because. Have you been to Atlanta? There are bad bitches. There's beautiful black women all over the goddamn place. You don't really have to look far, especially if you're in the city of Atlanta. If you in the house, of course not. But they could have said, like, we didn't really go around that much to see anybody.
Or beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah, but they also said that they were baddies in, like, Ohio or something like that. Like, the state that they brought up was, like, a little bit, okay. But
the reason why I say that is, we know
y'all don't like black women.
You know what I'm saying? We know what that could be coded for, but do you think they know that? Like, do you think they know that Ohio saying that is going to come off like I'm trying to communicate white women to you?
I think that
because they're not from here.
As British people who are fans of black culture, British people say that they know American culture very, very well because there's a lot of American TV over there that they consume, and it's not the same. We don't consume their shit, but they consume our shit regularly. So I think that they're a little bit more well-versed in knowing that, like, they're Atlanta, Detroit, New York, those are black places. And then there are places who you don't hear about black people at all, Ohio being one of those places.
I mean, but if you think of Dave Chappelle, he's
the only nigga in Ohio.
LeBron was for a while too. That's the thing. What I'm saying is, like, I can see two bad black women think they're baddies in Ohio. Come on a show. Someone says, "Did you see any baddies in Atlanta?" Nah, but when I was in Ohio, there was some bad ones up there. And now you've communicated like I'm saying I like white women when no, I saw just two bad black women. And that's why I just feel like it's a lot of miscommunication with this.
I just think it's a little bit like you had to do more gymnastics to make that point. And when there's more white people in Ohio, and Atlanta is a black ass city, point blank, period. So it's a safe deduction to make.
Safe as I wouldn't use safe, but
I think it's a safe
you
deduction.
can deduce that.
Because especially after everything else. And a bunch of clips that they brought up, like people went back and they weird as fuck. So Lex brought it up and she was basically like, she seemed a little bit more defensive about it. And women felt like Lex and Drea, when James and Fuhad initially said that, should have been like, that's weird. But they were basically like, well, we not from Atlanta, which is okay.
But again, that makes me the idea of where it's like, I'm not necessarily having this conversation on race. I'm just having conversation on what my experience of the culture that I was with was up there.
The culture in Atlanta is black. The culture in Ohio is white.
But
that's the culture.
I could have been up there in Ohio with a bunch of black people in that area and seen baddies. That's all I'm saying.
You could have.
That's all I'm saying. But I'm just trying to figure out what was her response to saying that, were people saying that y'all wasn't doing enough? That's what she was responding to?
Yeah. So okay. when they were like, well, we don't care, we're not from Atlanta. People like, it was just like it was weird. Lex bringing it up again and saying, well, I didn't give a fuck about whether he was attracted or he found any baddies in Atlanta because I don't give a fuck about the male gaze.
No, that's a lie.
Like, I don't think that you handled that properly. And if you were going to bring it up again, then I feel like she should have, I don't know. I feel like your initial statement on like, we just not from Atlanta, so we're not offended by that. It was okay. It was fine for you to like change it into we're not concerned about the male gaze when literally like 2 episodes ago, y'all were talking about how focused on the male gaze y'all used to be and y'all look back and y'all cringe now.
It just seems
it's a little hypocritical.
It seems to me that when it comes to like this conversation, there's no winning in it. There's nothing to do with you. Like, I'm looking at it and I'm trying to figure out what could have been sufficing for anybody in this situation. It seems like there's nothing that could have sufficed.
Well, for Lex and Drea specifically, when they initially said there's no baddies in Atlanta, I'd have been like, well, that's weird. There's mad baddies in Atlanta. And then move on. That would have been it. Nobody would have said anything about Lex and Drea. Everyone would have focused on how weird it was that James and Fuhad said that shit. And you can make whatever deductions you want to make from them saying that they don't like black women, this and that. But Lex and Drea wouldn't have caught any flack if they were just like, yes, they are. Like, that's all you had to do. Yes, they are.
I just don't feel like it was that simple for them. And I think they were just trying to have a good faith conversation.
But it wasn't that big of a deal until they went on Flagrant podcast. Mm-hmm. Like, we didn't really give a fuck about them saying that.
I don't feel like that
until it was me, a bunch of stuff put together.
To me, it felt leading up. I saw when they went on there, their clips was going crazy because I don't really follow them. So if I see both of them shows, so if I see their clips, that means it didn't leaked out of their normal algorithm. So
they got brought up again because of that and because of the supercell. So there was a show on Netflix. It's a black show about superheroes. It's basically like Heroes, but black. And it talks about like the implementations of if black people had powers, what we would go through if that was a thing. So it's a really good show too. Like you should watch it. I know you didn't watch it, but you should definitely watch it. You would enjoy it. So James specifically was like, basically, I didn't watch Supercell because it was all black people saying that it was good, and black people are biased when other black people make things, which we are. But he was like, I was waiting for white and Asian people to say it was good for me to then agree and go watch it myself. And then James and the Fuhad was like, yeah, I had the same opinion.
They wanted to wait for the
they wanted to wait for and then the Supercell, the creator of the show, went on a podcast and was like, yeah, that was my first. Like, that was the first time that I saw these niggas, and I immediately thought that they were some weird ass niggas because you wanted to wait for white people to say something was good for you to consume it.
No, I mean, again, that to me stems to, I've had jokes like that where I've said similar things like, oh, this is just, y'all just saying y'all like it because it's the niggas that's liking it, you know, or that the niggas is being pushed and promoted.
But because they're black men from the same community, and then, do you think that black people have especially if you have that big of a platform, do you think that they had a responsibility to have their own opinion about it and big it up if they did?
I think far too often, like, we do this fickle code amongst black people. And if you don't at any point always remain on code, you get isolated from a particular faction of blackness. Like, even when we talked about the space last week, where I talked about how, you know, I don't feel like I'd have to blindly protect all black women. That then now takes a whole bunch of people out of you because you're not following their idea of the code. And there is no like in stone black code.
There isn't.
It's just fickle wherever you go and who's enforcing what at what time.
Do you not think that these codes come from a place of like shared trauma and oppression?
I think
we have these codes, I think, for a reason.
But I think they also need to evolve with time and things of that nature.
How do you think that like this specific code should evolve in media when black people are critiquing black art?
You should take them for their face value, what they're saying, and also understand what do they have to get from it. Because like a lot of these times they be friends. Remember that episode of what's his name, Kenya Barris show that he did, and he had that one scene where he talked all the black creators on like a live or a Zoom or some shit like that. So yeah, so I mean, we need to know where you're coming from in your criticism, but I don't think you shouldn't be able to be critical. I think you should be able to, like, I hate what's her name, Issa Rae, when she does I'm just here to support everyone black, because when you go with that wide umbrella for something so trivial like art like this, you don't know what their art says, what their art is about. What if their art says negative shit about black people? You gonna be for them then too?
I think she says that because there's not a lot of black art to support. So we feel like we need to support it so that there can be more projects that are led by black people.
But I would argue that, whereas just because it's led by a black person, that means inherently for black people.
It definitely isn't.
So that's why
Kenya Barris is my mortal enemy.
Why do you think you and I go on this show all the time? We talk about Tyler Perry, Kenya Barris. We say critical of it because we know that if we let you niggas who then got the white man continue to push the idea of blackness, it's going to be far from the hands of real black people.
I think the way we critique things is a good way, because we hold black people accountable. But going back to James and Fuhad waiting on white opinions to critique black art, is that not weird? Is that not it's a little like odd to me. Why are you waiting on the stamp of approval from, they said, outside of the culture? Because to then consume something that's for your culture.
See, well, that's the question thing. We can't necessarily, because they're black, put them in for their culture, because we don't know what they're into.
The Supercell?
No, I'm talking about James and Fuhan.
No, I'm saying exactly that you're critiquing something that is for your culture. Supercell is for the culture.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We can't, you said we don't know exactly who these guys are. We don't know if that's how the culture they grew up in. They could have gravitated to it once they started doing this podcast.
The Supercell, or James and Fuhad.
Yeah, James and Fuhad.
Okay.
They could have, as they grew up and matured and been on their show, been pushed over to this because they're black. How many times have we heard people be like, oh, I don't want to be known as a black artist? Because for whatever reason, they may have grown up around an environment that didn't push blackness. But then as they got moved up and got pushed up, the people in the circles, all that gravity pushed you into each other because you are a person who performs or looks this certain way. So that's what I mean like that. Just because that's what, don't put the culture on them. We don't know what their culture is. Jason Fuhan.
Yeah. the way they were speaking about it, they seemed like they're part of it. And then from my understanding of their history, because I used to watch their show regularly, like they did grow up in Black culture and and like African and whatever different things they are, but they're Black men who grew up in UK Black culture, which is a completely different culture than African American culture. But also, the show that they're critiquing comes from their culture. He is from South London. He is Black.
Was it a Netflix UK original?
Yes,
or was
it was Netflix UK.
Okay,
they made it over there. They approved it. The owner of because I watched a couple interviews from the creator of Supercell. He's a young Black man. I very much enjoy the way his brain works and the way he story tells. The show was amazing, so I wanted to watch. Every time I saw him, I clicked on the interview. He grew up in South London. Like, he's a Black man who identifies as Black, and he made this for Black people in the UK because he was like, he grew up and all of the stuff that he saw with Black people in it was American. So he wanted to make something for people in the UK. And then it just so happened to get super fucking popular over here because it's so good. It's really so good. Was that the one
where they was in the school? When they was like high schoolers? Is that the one you were watching?
No, he wasn't a high schooler. The main character was engaged and it was his girlfriend that wasn't listening and then she got shot at the end.
Okay. I've never watched it. So
you didn't watch it.
I thought I seen you watching it while
you were. Okay. I watched it fully, like I consumed that whole thing. I was like, oh, let me watch this, and then I was like, the whole time I was captivated immediately.
I can't for too long sit and listen to British people talk for too long.
Yeah, it was so good.
All right, you want to get into the space update?
Yes, let's get into that.
All right, so we got two-parter here for y'all today, but we got to get into my man Danny, man. Danny and Rocky part 99. They did it again. This one was so like big and so important. I thought I had to make sure she listened to it directly. Yeah. So we sat down. We both listened to the entire space. So let's just give a little, heads up of what happened. So Rocky had put a post up where she had said, she just made a joke where she was just talking about like when she see her name come up in a space and then there's like a reaction. I thought it was pretty funny. And then Danny was like, we have to mature past you mentioned my name in a space and things of that nature. And to me, I get what he's saying, but I think that there's a lot that's underneath the subtext there. And that's the thing about the whole group in the spaces, especially from that side of the argument, where it's like, there's a lot of underlining things that people in the group have issues with Rocky. I don't really have too many of them. I think it's funny. Like, I think she's like old from the old guard of, being, influencer before that was the title, being part of that kind of culture and things of that nature in the industry, basically. She's old industry in my mind. Yeah. Like she comes from that kind of, that kind of thought.
Like the earlier back in the day.
Like just an example of like what I would say old culture was, or old industry would have been like when we had Elliot and she asked Ellie like if there was anything that he could, put on to us that could help us maybe in the future in our, career and dynamic and just trying to, push ourselves as individuals. And she asked him a question like that. And, it's just a cliche question. You usually get a cliche answer. Most of us have all experienced that in the group. And we were like, man, you got to do all that. We on our own path. Our path don't look like his path. You don't have to do those kind of conversations. We want to get, substantive information, not hypotheticals and well wishes. So that's just an example of it. So it goes in, then Danny does a space. They have the conversation and things get heated. Like she's upset at Danny for real. Because when she walks in, she says, I thought we was cool like 2 minutes ago. I'm like, what's going on now? Danny again. Doing Danny things. To me, I feel like he just didn't express. That's my man, Danny, my boy. I just don't feel like in that moment he expressed exactly his gripe in the way that he probably should have. Because if y'all gonna get into it, y'all should just got to it. And I think there was a lot of holding back because you wanted to stay on topic. But this wasn't about the topic. I promise you, this wasn't about that tweet. This is about all of the conversations that's been had. I wasn't in the space, thank God. Yeah. I wasn't pushed to have a comment at that time. But I just feel like that's just where this stems from. This doesn't just stem from a beef with Rocky and Dan. This stems from the people on his side that have expressed and maybe not have appreciated some of Rocky's input.
What has she said?
It's just some people just, again, I don't feel like it's a direct shot at it, because when I've had talked to her about serious conversations, she will be very mindful of, you know, the things that she's saying and who she's talking to and things like that, where it can rub people on. So when you hear the word peon, it usually, she'll say that when she's upset or when she's going at people. To me, I always make that distinction, because it's not like she does it in her normal conversation. It's usually when she gets tried. So when she uses those words, it rubs people the wrong way, because in our space, we try to have it set up in a way where we all are equal, even though there's some people who have thousands of followers and there's some people who don't have, we only have hundreds of followers. We all try to look and speak to each other as equals. And I guess to some of those people, when that language was used, it took the
like
spirit
she's
of that.
talking down on you.
Yeah, it felt the spirit of it. To me, I don't ever take it like that, because she don't do it in a normal capacity. Like, we just sit here talking about Flip, or we talking about Mel, or we talking about the pod. She sits there and she talk with us like some people she want to hear their opinion.
She's part of y'all community.
Yeah, she wants to hear our opinion. She work.
She's a we work.
Yeah.
So she's fully part of the Spaces community too. So talking down on the Spaces community wouldn't make sense, because you're part of it. From what I heard, like the recording, Danny took the tweet personally, and he felt like she was talking about WeWorks. She was basically like, you dumb fuck, why would I be talking about the niggas I fuck with? I'm obviously talking about the other spaces that don't fuck with me, that be talking shit about me and this and that, which I thought made complete sense.
The only thing about that is, though, was I was in the space the night before, and she was mentioned, and somebody had commented her name in the comment, and she had said, like, why y'all bringing my name up or whatever in her response. So to me, when I saw that tweet, I thought it was just in conjunction with that too. I wouldn't have thought for any reason that she was talking about anybody else on the other side, because for the most part they're blocked, and, you know, it's just we y'all stay over there, I'm over here type shit.
So we can't really know who you're talking about for real.
So I think that's why I saw it like that. But in that whole space, that was never mentioned. I don't know if anybody else saw it. I did, but nobody. Luckily, I wasn't in the space, so I didn't have to bring up that card that I saw. This is
the second week in a row that Danny has had conflict with a woman.
Well, I mean,
I think
it's because he gives
particularly interesting.
You know why? I think it's because he gives opportunity for women to be themselves on stage. He doesn't sit there and say, you got to be like this, Miss Lady. You got to do X, Y. No, he goes up there and lets you say what you got to say. And then sometimes there's blowback. And I think just in this particular time, I just think he needs to have a serious conversation with Rocky if he continues to want to have the relationship. I don't think they do anymore. I think they don't mind if they talk and have conversations, but I think Rocky's going to be so busy with a lot of the stuff she's been revealing on her page and stuff that's coming on. I don't see that she's really going to have time for us like that anymore. She did a really good job with that book, so it seems like more and more of those are coming. And then it seemed like the conversation led into that, right? Afterwards, about the whole Joe talking about the book. That conversation led into that.
They mentioned that, like, she was talking shit about Joe for months, but now follows Joe, and said that she wanted to write a book for Joe. And everyone was saying that, like, you would, what's the word I'm looking for? You would put your beliefs aside to make some money, which is exactly what she was saying. Yeah. You don't give a fuck that he was talking shit about you, because it would be a huge opportunity for you to write his book. They are right in saying that, like, that's kind of like morally a little bit shaky, because that is someone that you have expressed that you don't agree with, and they've talked shit about you for mad long, and he said shit about you that could potentially, like, put you in jail. So if like that had panned out, so it is a little bit, like, odd. I'm in agreement with, like, dubbing them when he said that it was a little bit odd that you said that you wanted to write his book, because that's you setting your feelings aside to make money. It is a skill for you to be able to do that, but not everyone morally would want to do that. So it's interesting that you would want to do that.
Yeah. I kind of think in a way too that maybe Danny and Rocky were working in conjunction to try to get that pitch out there. Because that's what it seemed like. You got everybody there for them to do the war, Rocky versus Danny. And then at the end, that pitch is like, 10 or 15 minutes of the conversation. And that's before I got walked into it. I thought maybe they could be in conjunction doing some rollout. I think they may be in a rollout to help get that push, because the next day she's on stage with Joe and Flip, and that conversation comes up about the book. So, and he knew he wrote Rollo's book. So again, I don't know. I haven't been told.
I wouldn't be surprised if she did end up writing Joe's book.
I think it would be fitting if she did. And
Are you gonna write about stomping on that pregnant woman's belly?
That would be a good question to wonder if you're gonna put in there. I think that it could be an opportunity. Remember on BoJack Horseman, Diane was writing BoJack's book in the show. I think she has an opportunity like that where she can get her shit off, really discuss Joe in a real way, but still make him in a way where he's human. And then it could really just push her to a whole nother level. But also in the same token, you get out those grievances you have with him.
You think it's time for Joe to write a book?
I mean, if you want to, I don't see why not.
Do you think it will be received well, or does he have to wait a little bit? Like, do you think he should wait a little bit longer?
I think he should probably wait until maybe a big deal comes about where he can kind of be, that can be the ending of the book kind of per se, not the end of his career, but ending of where you put this book at, like now I'm in this position. I think that would be good. But I mean, at the same token, you can't say that he's not in a position to have it because he has took over a new medium and is able to establish himself better than a lot of people who were established in other medias. So you could write a book about it. It wouldn't be bad.
Danny and Rocky both called each other insecure in the spaces.
That was crazy. They was going back like Danny. That was him jumping out the window. A lot of people don't know Danny's not the type to cuss and swear and do all that. That time he got out his character.
He barely raises his voice.
But even then, he didn't really raise his voice.
He
but
didn't.
It was raised voice for Danny.
Yeah, he wasn't really actually yelling. When Rocky was like, "Stop yelling, lower your voice," I was like, "He's not."
But but that's why I get jealous. I would be jealous of Rocky in that situation because Rocky can just go up there because she's a lady and just go flagrant on us. Like she can call us anything, soy boys, maggots.
Bro, she's from New York.
Yeah, I mean she's from Florida, but
Florida. Okay,
she got her a lot of her bearings in New York.
Yeah,
but
like that's when a lady from New York or that lives in New York for a long time decides to curse you out, like it's extremely entertaining.
And then, but then you have to listen to Danny because that's where the art really is. It's
because everything she was doing was not phasing him whatsoever. All of the little poking that she did, he was like, yeah, and I'm gonna mute you and continue saying what I was saying at the same level that I was saying it. Like,
no, he was yelling back and forth at one point. He's like, no, Rocky, this is what you're going to do. I was like, yo, this man, Danny is hilarious. But I just respect the fact that even when he's being pushed to his limits and you see him being quote unquote out of character, it's still not a bad dude.
He's still not yelling for real.
No, he's not swearing. He's not calling you out your name.
Nothing.
He's just putting his point and he's just continued to stay with the same vigor that he said at the beginning.
She was interrupting people a lot though.
I mean, it's part of the game. It's part of the game. It's part of the game.
I was like, too many people are speaking. I can't listen to this. I don't know how y'all do that on a regular basis. Just like be listening to each other. Oh my God. I would hate it so much.
No, but
I would hate it.
It was good. I'm still gonna be
just people yelling. Like I would be overstimulated like a motherfucker. I don't know how y'all do that shit. I couldn't even finish listening to the whole space because I was like, this is too much. I don't want it anymore.
But no, I'm with it, man. Rocky, you still good over here with us, man. I understand you may not be the same with the we work, but you still she work in my heart. You still she work. But no, there was another incident that happened too. So this one stems from the podcast, the Joe Budden podcast. So I'm gonna play a little bit of the clip that sparked it off, and then I'll tell exactly what happened in response to it.
Listen, this fool comes over to me and says, yo, could you get me out of here with these regular Joes? I don't want to be around the working class people. Oh, shit.
I'm editing that right out of there. Don't worry. I'm editing that right out of that broadcast.
That's what we doing. Yo, it's too many 9-to-5ers in here. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
I'm like, yo, this guy is crazy.
How could he tell?
I have no idea how you could tell it was too many 9-to-5. I mean, you could tell kind of.
What's a 9-to-5er look like?
Yeah. Because I know a lot of 9-to-5ers that put that shit on. So like, is it?
I remember back in the day, 9-to-5ers. We all used to.
Bridge and tunnel.
Bridge and tunnel workers.
Does anybody here know what bridge and tunnel means?
Of course.
I think I'm officially bridge and tunnel now, though.
Yeah, a little bit.
No, you're not.
You familiar with that phrase, right? Bridge and tunnel?
No, I'm not.
It's just people from New Jersey that take the bridge and tunnel into New York to like have nightlife and commute and all that kind of stuff. That's what he's talking about. So this again, you can clearly see how a lot of people who are listening to his show are working class people who go out and that's what their lifestyle is.
You're saying that you don't want to be around all of your listeners.
And so that's it. If you look at the timeline, it rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, and it sparked into a conversation amongst a former mod of the JBTV where they went up there and was like, bro, like, are we okay with this kind of conversation being had to us?
I was literally disgusted the entire conversation.
Like, it was really wild that he was just allowed. He said that and didn't even think second about what he was trying to say.
Joseph, why do you think you're better than working class people?
I think that's to stem from it. Let me get into a little bit more. Because they end up having the space. They have the conversation. Joe enters the space and he doubles down. He's like,
of course he does, because he has shitty takes on a regular basis.
He goes and he says, hey, I am not here to party with you guys. I don't really like y'all guys. Like essentially that's what he said. I'm going to be honest with y'all. What he really told y'all is I think less of y'all. Y'all are beneath me.
Yeah.
Y'all are just the people who consume my content at the end of the day. We may chop it up. He may go outside and, play with the ants. But at the end of the day, he sees y'all at the ants. I don't think y'all should take that as a bad thing on y'all end, because to me, it feels like it's just a projection of who he is. That the fact that you care so much to other yourself from the regular common people has to be from the fact that you hate you. Like, there's something about the old you, the you that didn't have access.
You're disgusted with yourself.
You despise it. And you probably know that individual is still a part of you. When you look in the mirror, when you wake up, like, that person who did who had the addictions, who made the bad decisions, who was abusive and all that other shit, like, that's still who you are, and you can never run from it no matter how much money you have. And I feel like it was a little nasty once he got on stage, because a lot of that came out, like a lot of that just showed, like there was a lot of bootlicking. Like, people were like, well, if y'all had money, would you want to be around just anybody? But that's not the conversation.
Y'all are disgusting fucking human beings.
It's wild. Like, that the conversation, anytime we've been critical of Joe on how he discussed normal people or everyday people, they always want to go about, well, if you had this, would you want that? Nobody cares about that. That's not the conversation at hand. The conversation is you using your language, your platform to shit on people and make like you're better than them when you know you're not.
Yeah.
You're just fortunate. You're lucky. You had a good experience. You had Def Jam when you were a kid. Like, for real, bro. Like, to me, that's just insane to just have that discussion with the working class. But that's always why I've never given him my money. I'll give you time. I'll listen to you in the background while I'm on the work, while I'm doing something productive. But I'm not giving you no money when this is what you think of the people who are providing that for you.
If all of these people decided to stop listening to your show, then you wouldn't be on this pedestal.
You dared them. You dared them on the stage.
I hope y'all, like, I don't listen to them, but I hope y'all take that dare to heart and stop listening to this motherfucker.
They're not. And that was the sad part. It was just like an abusive boyfriend going on there saying, you ain't nobody else gonna want you but me.
Because they want to be in the position that he is to tell the people who are working class that, oh, you're below me and I dare you to stop supporting me.
A lot of people feel like they are low because they're working class, and that's just, they don't understand. That's just manipulation from the system at hand.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the whole time, I really just wanted to offer to go up there and be like, bro, all of y'all are bootlicking and it sounds crazy. Y'all don't understand the system that he promotes, that he wants to see do well, is the system that puts all of us in handcuffs.
Yeah.
And y'all don't understand that, and that's why y'all would never pull away. I'm not saying you're going to watch them for free for 2 times a week. But to me, the individual who would speak like that knows that he's probably has a history of taking advantage of people. That's what that sounded like. Somebody with a history of taking advantage of others.
You're not better than working class people at all. There are working class men who have never put their hands on women. There are working class men who have never said crazy shit to women in the workplace, and they know how to speak because they are educated. There are working class men who are just better than you, morally more educated. Like, the position that you're in is because you happen to be able to rhyme words good. And then you took that and ran with it. You weren't even fully successful at that part. You had to start doing this part, and you just got in on the ground floor and it worked out. But like, timing was the reason that you feel like you're able to sit up on your high horse and call working class people like less than. That's absolutely insane to me. I would never, the thought process to say that, it would never be a thought in my mind. Like that would never be conceived in my mind.
And then they let him go up there and defend himself in a way where he said, even before I was rich, I didn't want to hang out with the working class 9-to-5 people. And I'm sitting there like, y'all really just letting this nigga get this manipulation shit off.
Whatever, man.
Like, y'all are insane. I'm going to just tell you this, and we can wrap it up with this part right here for this space update. People show you exactly who they are every time. And you have to at some point recognize it and act accordingly, because if not, you're just essentially saying that you're okay with the actions and behavior. So do what you want with that. Again, I'm not saying don't watch the man's show. I'm saying, is he really worth 25? Is he really worth your 15? Did you really come back after a week of listening to his content more inspired or more knowledgeable than you did the week after? That's how I know if it's worth it or not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Candace Owen Patreon might be worth more than Joe's in regards to just information that you can at least attempt to try to, find out if it's valid or not.
Yeah.
Vice President Harris will deliver for black men. So that is what we've been hearing probably for a week now. She released her comprehensive 9-page report on what she will bring to the black man.
As a black man, how did you feel about this?
Well, I can read. So I read through this stuff and I'm like, this is cool for well-to-do black people. A black person like myself and where I come from in regards to like having a level of privilege and things of that nature. Some of this stuff could probably help me. Some of the stuff where I can get me in a good position. But then when I think about, and this is kind of interesting because she just sat down with Charlamagne not too long ago, and one of the guys asked a very interesting question to her. Was like, yeah, I hear you always talk about the middle class, but what are you going to do to help people in poverty or close to poverty push themselves up? This to me, ideally it sounds like it could do that, but practically it doesn't, because like there was discussions regarding like the loan. She said she's going to have the forgivable loans, I think up to $20,000. She's trying to get like 1 million loans in regards to that. That sounds nice in that regard, but to me, it seems as though it's going to be more so in line with what her other projects have done. It's just always been a tax credit. And because she did have one where she was trying to, I think, increase the tax credit from like 5,000 to, I want to say like 50,000 from one of her older proposals. And to me, that tax credit doesn't really do what people think it does, because you have to make a profit first to get tax credit. Like if you're not making a profit off what you're doing, which it could take some people a long time to do that,
years,
then they're not going to get that that return on it. And it could be anything. Like I said, like I know again, she was talking about some of the loans helping people with car payments and things of that nature, increasing and getting equipment. Like again, if we were able to get a 20 racks, that would help improve a lot of stuff around here for our business. So I mean, I can see where the promise comes from it, but I'll just go over just some of the points and then we can kind of. So we already talked about the forgivable loans of $20,000 to black entrepreneur and others, expanding the bank accounts and lending to help black men build wealth, enabling black men who hold digital assets, so the crypto shit, breaking down unfair and unnecessary barriers for employment of black men. Like again,
that should help.
But I'm saying, but how is that going to be done? Like you can say I'm gonna do it,
yeah,
but it's like how are you going to do it? Especially when you take it to the fact that what's the affirmative action, losing a lot of power in regards to that. Enabling black and other workers to profit when companies executive profit. Again, that sounds nice in regards to that, but what are you going to implement on a company that people are going to not be able to spin and say, oh, you're going to do this to the little guy? Because that's what they do. When you say you're going to make companies do X, Y, and Z, they try to spin it and say, oh, well, they're trying to make you do this, to make you make the transgender cake, all that kind of shit. Let's see. Expand pathways for black men to good paying jobs, whether or not they have a college degree. Again, I'm not opposed to that, but again, her can only come from federal jobs. Federal jobs have budgets and limits. So again, that puts a lot. Again, I understand the importance of government jobs. I'm from the DMV area. The reason why we have so many well-to-do black people is because of government jobs.
Yeah.
So I understand the importance of it, but are you going to expand those government jobs into other areas? Because I think a good token, if you're not going to give us reparations, would be helping black people have, the first to right refusal of government jobs. Like now I'm talking about elected ones, but government cleaning up, doing shit like that.
Government contracts.
Working with paperwork, stuff like that. Yeah. So, I mean, is that going to be part of that pathway? She talks about, providing training in high demand industries and things like that. To me, that just sounds more like college and more like debt you got to go into. So that's what I'm saying, where like a lot of this stuff, again, she wants to help black men become teachers. Are you going to pay teachers more? Because the reason why black men aren't teachers isn't because they don't want to be teachers. It's because the payment isn't there.
25 cents an hour.
Also, she said she's going to invest grant programs for mentorship and leadership development, provide support for financial stressed farmers and ranchers, including black farmers and ranchers, provide black men and their families with reliable, low-cost internet access, review the burden of medical debt, because she said she wanted to focus on like sickle cell and things that affect black men. Again, a lot of this stuff sounds good in practice, but then when you look at the parts that aren't bold printed, it doesn't give you too much confidence in it. Like when you actually kind of read into the process of it, again, it just sounds like things that are going to help people who are already up.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's who she's trying to reach out to, but to me, this idea of capitalism is not going to create a sustainable model. Like we were just talking about it earlier when we were looking at the housing prices. Like, how do you control that without putting a law in that says this is how much you can sell a house for?
Yeah.
Like
regulations have to be put in place.
But I'm saying like a regulation like that, you told the people you're going to put a regulation on a house or a price like that, we would say you're China now. You're communist China.
That would be anti-capitalism.
At some point, we need someone
to people
who needs to understand that this is not, we are not on a sustainable model. And I don't feel like she realized, I don't feel like she cares to speak on that. She may know it, but I don't think she cares to speak on it because her dynamic is still going to help her benefit and her donors. Because if you look at that, there's money. Where do you think this money is coming from? Who's getting relief for this? Who's getting breaks for this? Is it all going to come from taxing them? Are we going to be able to get that even through Congress? Because Congress is paid by these individuals. Why are they going to then?
Everything is a mess.
You say, like, why would they do that? And I think that's the problem they have, because Trump gets a lot of the shit done through executive orders, but we all saw once the next person gets in, all those shits go away.
Yeah.
And then when you try to do things through the political process like normal, then you have someone like him who is just like, no, we're resisting regardless. If you put any bill out, I have 10 people that's going to resist regardless. This could be the best bill in the world. They're going to resist it because it's a Republican-led bill.
That's why we're never going to get anything done in our in our government, because there are people that are on specific sides, and regardless of whether the bill or the law is going to benefit people in your state or not, you have a side that you have to be on, and that's the side that you're going to be on. So it's just like, it's tiring. And when candidates come up and they're like, oh, you have hope and I'm going to make all this change. And it's like, for black people specifically, nothing is going to happen. Like, our lives haven't changed for the better with anybody in office.
Yeah. I mean, it just seems as though like, it just sounds good. It's also, it felt like, because she didn't address this either when she was with Charlemagne, because he asked about the finger wagging that Barack Obama did, where he came out, was basically insinuating that these black men aren't voting for her because she's a woman, and that they need to tighten up. And you saw the video, right, with Barack Obama? No, he did. Okay, well, he did a video where he was talking to black men, and so a lot of people it came off as finger wagging, like you're trying to shame on them. And when asked about that, she didn't really give a really good answer to that. Like it seems as though like the black men, because Charlemagne made a good point. It's like, I don't see white men criticizing other white men for not voting for you. I don't see white women criticizing other white women for voting against their interests in voting and not voting for you. So why are we only seeing this example being done in the media? And she just had nothing that she could say. And that's where you lose a lot of people, because you feel like we are the ones, black men, that you can shit on. And we supposed to still come back to you.
Is it because the polls are saying that black men aren't voting for her and she needs black men's support, so she's like not going about it the correct way to try to get it?
You could say that, but they've never historically done it the right way. They've always tried to make it and paint us.
But she's the only black woman who's been this close.
But no, we're talking about in
general.
I'm talking about in general for elections, period. Like, black men have always been heavily critical, because if we choose to go to the right or whatever, like, our vote looks like it's treated like it should only go one way.
Heavily critical, yes, but have y'all ever been finger wagged before?
Yes, there's been plenty of times.
For specific, to vote for specific people?
Mm-hmm, yes. When this happened with Hillary, there was a campaign for that, where, oh, you need to, just because she's a woman, she can lead. Or like, there have been campaigns against that. And now to see this, and days away from the election, it just seems like it's out of place. And that she had to kind of respond with that document.
Days is scary.
Huh?
the election is so close, and it's just scary. It's unsettling.
Yeah, I mean, again, it doesn't scare me as much because I don't look at it as two.
Because you light skinned and a U.S. citizen?
No, because I don't look at these two people as staunch opposition to each other. Like, I don't look at Kamala as too much different from Trump. I just see her having to excuse a lot of her BS.
Reproductive health there's a very big difference.
I mean, I understand that, but even then, even if she gets into office, the Supreme Court ain't changing that rule in no time soon.
Mm-mm.
I think there may be one person that might be leaving within the next 4 years, so it's not like that's going to change overnight anyway.
About the Supreme Court.
But
the Supreme Court is scary right now.
I mean, it's wrapped up, and part of that you can also blame Obama
Bader
for.
Ginsburg and Obama.
You can blame both of them.
Both of them.
She didn't leave. That would allow somebody to replace her.
Yo, that should have left.
And then you got Obama, who, when someone did, there was an opening, he let Trump put it in.
Why? You should have appointed someone immediately, even though it was the end of your. I don't care how
Trump
it made
did.
you look.
Trump did.
Because we know Trump does flagrant shit all the time.
Because see, the normal the normal thought that how it went was the president, who was the lame duck president, wouldn't make that decision.
Yeah.
It would go to the incumbent.
Yeah.
And so that's why he did that, because he knew he'd be critical, and he thought maybe
yeah,
that might
Trump
hurt.
didn't give a fuck about what people said.
Yeah, when he left, he was like, "No, I'm putting in 2 more, and we good.
Yeah,
we up, and it's stuck."
And it's really stuck unless some niggas die.
But no, the Charlemagne
or step down.
The Charlemagne interview was interesting. I think it's harder for him to kind of be able to have that same kind of rapport and conversation, because she sounded a lot better with Charlemagne than she ever had with anybody else that she did the interview with.
She did a bunch of interviews because she was being critiqued about not doing enough interviews. Mm-hmm. We said that like not too long ago.
Yeah. And then with this one, like I said, she didn't come off as an authoritarian as much as she had in the past with this one. It did seem like she was a little more understanding.
She kinda did.
You think so?
But I think because she said she's disciplined. Like she has her, like she's gonna stick to the script.
No, she spoke on that, and she was just saying, like, I want people to know this is what I mean. That's why you hear me regurgitating a lot of talking points. I'm just talking about just her relatability. It felt way more.
I don't need to relate to the candidate.
But
I don't know what the
don't.
fuck that is about. Tell me your policy and your plan. I don't want to hear about your life and your personality and what the fuck you do at home and what you cooked for dinner. I don't give a fuck. What are you gonna do for me?
And did you see her on Fox?
I saw her on Fox. I think she ate Fox up.
She was good. I think she did have some flaws with the immigration conversation. Mm-hmm. She's trying to push that we had a bill going, but Trump, X, Y, and Z, he had people stop it from going forward. I think the issue, I guess, they were trying to push was like, well, you got rid of all of his stuff that he put in executive order that was working, or that they perceived to be working. I don't think it was working that too much.
Did they roll back all of Trump's like deregulations for things, or is that
not to necessarily anything that he put on executive orders? Like it's like 77 of them or something. They got rid of all his executive orders. Anything like that, they got rid of that. But that's the thing about executive orders, is the next person can come in and just get rid of it. But I think, like I said, I thought these was a bit better improvement from what we saw last week when we talked about her.
Yeah, it was. It was the Fox interview I thought was good from the clips that I saw.
Because he was grilling her. He was, and she stood her ground, and I think she made her points very clearly. Yeah, there's actually, hold on, I got a clip here that Don Lemon pointed out, and he was saying that she should probably try to sue Fox for this, because they had a conversation and they brought up something that Trump said, and then the clip that they showed
was a completely different clip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it didn't reflect this.
And then she ate him up. She was like, that's not what you just played, though. That was from a different thing. And you and I both know the truth. She ate him up.
Are they misguided, the 50%?
Listen,
Are they stupid? What is it?
I would never say that about the American people. And in fact, if you listen to Donald Trump, if you watch any of his rallies, he's the one who tends to demean and belittle and diminish the American people. He's the one who talks about an enemy within, an enemy within, talking about the American people, suggesting he would turn the American military on the American people.
We asked that question to the former president today. Harris Faulkner had a town hall, and this is how he responded.
I heard about that. They were saying I was like threatening. I'm not threatening anybody. They're the ones doing the threatening. They do phony investigations. I've been investigated more than Alphonse Capone. He was the greatest gangster. No, it's true. No, but think of it. It's called weaponization of government. It's a terrible thing.
Question about the Department of Justice.
I'm sorry, and with all due respect, that clip was not what he has been saying about the enemy within that he has repeated when he's speaking about the American people. That's not what you just showed.
Well, he was asked about that specific...
No, that's not what you just showed. In all fairness and respect to you.
That was the question that we asked him.
You didn't show that, and here's the bottom line. He has repeated it many times, and you and I both know that. And you and I both know that he has talked about turning the American military on the American people. He has talked about going after people who are engaged in peaceful protest. He has talked about locking people up because they disagree with him. This is a democracy. And in a democracy, the President of the United States, in the United States of America, should be willing to be able to handle criticism without saying he'd lock people up for doing it. And this is what is at stake.
We live in the U.S., not fucking North Korea. We can criticize the president without being thrown in jail.
I'm not gonna lie, that was one of her best shit right there.
She ate that the fuck up.
Like, you have to kind of put your hands in the mud with this nigga.
You got to put your foot all the way down. She stood on a big...
People from within. We have some very bad people. We have some sick people, radical left lunatics. And I think they're and it should be very easily handled by, if necessary, by National Guard, or if really necessary, by the military, because they can't let that happen.
So, right there. We just make sure that y'all heard it. He did say that.
Yeah, he said that on multiple occasions.
So, I mean, you just got to be mindful. He also said another thing in his when he was in Atlanta this weekend, where they were talking about there was a woman in Georgia who died because she couldn't get proper health care for the doctor was scared of abortion or whatever in that regard. And she ended up dying. And her family did a telecast that same night. And Trump said, well, we'll have better ratings. Like, that's literally what he said in regards to the woman making a statement about asking her how you felt about your reaction to them doing that. We'll have better ratings. Like, this is the person that y'all saying cares. When he can't even, with any decency, he didn't have to know who that person was and not say that.
I just want y'all to be for real about why y'all like Trump.
Yeah. He empowers you to be a racist. He puts you in a mind state.
You know that he's a fucking idiot.
And a lot of y'all are just like folks who just want to be on the other side of the coin because y'all have nothing else interesting
because
about
you like being contrarians and you have no like actual thoughts of your fucking own. That's it. You like him because he's racist and you're racist and y'all want to be racist together. You don't agree? You know that he's spewing fucking nonsense.
Or you're stupid enough and you don't.
I would respect y'all more if y'all were like, yeah, we just don't fucking like immigrants and black people and we want to roll it all the way back to slavery times. You know that he's a fucking buffoon.
Yep. I mean,
yeah, like, come on now.
No, you got it.
Either you know he's a buffoon or you're even more of a buffoon than he is.
What do I always say? You either one or two things, stupid or sinister. So if you can sit there, again, my thing is this. I'm not saying that this make him seem like he's a better or worse candidate than Kamala. It's just, it's so evident where he stands on things that is anti-American. Inherently, at least.
Yes.
By the letter of the law, you can at least say it's anti-American.
And there have been a bunch of people in the government who you think would be on Trump's side that have come out and been like, nope. Well, like, this is very like anti-democracy, anti-American.
Well, sometimes you don't always want people who are on the other side to, come on your side and tell you what's going on, or endorse a candidate.
What's funny is you and David Duke have something in common. Which I never thought.
What are you talking about?
I never thought I could say that. But David Duke recently came out and endorsed Jill Stein. Jill Stein? Jill Stein. And I was like a little bit freaked out by this, but he read the article and she was basically like, no, thank you.
Yeah. So the thing about the David Duke thing, it was strictly the Gaza policies is what he said. So he said his statement, he says, this is good for white Americans, Europeans, and all of humanity. And that's why he said he was picking her. Again, shout out to her for denouncing that. She
was like, fuck out of here. No.
She also threw some shade because she said Kamala is talking about Dick Cheney.
Oh, yeah.
She's the war criminal.
She's like, I actually don't support being backed by war criminals like your girl Kamala, who keeps bragging about being backed by Dick Cheney.
I think she even implied that him being a white supremacist. I think that's what she said too. Yo,
she was
Jill
like,
be
I don't
going
fuck with
crazy.
white supremacists.
Jill be going crazy. Well, I do want to say, as you can see on my tablet, I did vote early. Shout out to me.
Shout out.
You know, I did what I had to do. I think to me, this felt a lot better than any other time that I voted before. I voted for Obama the second time.
The second time?
Yeah, I couldn't vote the first time.
Oh, okay. You weren't.
I was a child.
Okay. I was like, nigga, who the fuck? Like,
I voted for Obama the second time. I voted for what's his name, Joe Biden and Hillary Clinton, and for the large part of what I had voted for was always kind of be following what my parents told me. You know, they were Democrats, so I'm going to follow suit in regards to being a Democrat. I've registered for that, but this was the first time I think as my own adult I made my own decision for what I felt was for me and what I thought was important for this country to move forward. So it was really freeing to go in there in that booth, not scared of the outcome, because I'm trusting and I'm believing in what I believe in. Not a corporate politician, not someone who wants to continue to throw bombs, continue to inflate our military and police force so that they can control us, but somebody who says, hey, I want the working class to have more. I want you to have more of a say. I want the wrongs of slavery to be corrected, and can say that with a straight face and not dance around it, not tell me there needs to be studies done when there's been plenty of studies done, and it tells you all the time, take the money out that fucking weak ass white supremacist military and maybe you can pay for some shit in this real country here.
The U.S. has been like slowly falling in like notoriety. I don't know if notoriety is the right word, but like our education system is garbage. The stuff that's coming out of the U.S. is not great. Like the greatest minds aren't being produced from the United States at all. So there's like more money needs to be put into just making us better.
But that would stem from, we can't take that from the rich people in their jacuzzis and their yachts. So they can only have one yacht?
They can only have one jet?
Do you know what can happen with just one yacht? What if it gets stained? And I need to be in the other one.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane.
But no, I was just so happy that I was able to do that. So shout out to me.
Proud of you, baby.
Thank you. I also voted for myself a few times. There were some Republicans, local Republicans that were going unopposed. So I said, hey, don't throw my name in the race.
They still gonna win because they're running unopposed.
That's peace. I'm in there. I have a vote. My name will come up on there. I voted for myself for probate court.
I just I am very proud of you and for voting with your conscience and everything, because on the other hand, it could be argued that like with the past couple elections, Georgia is a very important state. It could be argued that you wasted a vote.
It could be.
Because we know for a fact that Jill Stein is not about to win this. Like, we know 100% that Jill Stein is not winning this.
Well.
So in a state like Georgia, it was very important last election. And for the first time last election, Georgia was a Democratic state.
It's not the first time. They did with Jimmy
Well,
too.
for a long time. Like, it was a Democratic state. So, how do you feel about that?
Well, it was funny. I talked to my dad the day before the election, and I remember him telling me when I was a little boy, if everyone is jumping off of a bridge, are you going to follow them?
Okay, but if everyone is jumping off of a bridge because the bridge is on fire,
I mean, then that'd be different. But
okay,
that's
like the bridge is on fire though.
But the thing is,
in this specific situation,
the bridge is on fire, and everyone's jumping into a pit that they can't get out of. They're not jumping for freedom. They're not jumping for their own safety. They're jumping because the bridge is on fire, and the only other option is a pit in the ground to them.
It's either die or pit.
You're gonna die in the pit. You could die in the pit.
You might not die in the pit.
You could,
but you might not. But it's certain death on the bridge.
Yeah, and the way I look at it is this: the person who I wanted to jump off the bridge for gave me the reality in the world that I want to see. And she said the answers that I wanted. I didn't have to worry about no flim flam, no BS, no, oh, we're trying.
You didn't jump off the bridge. The person just gave you a fireproof suit to stay on the bridge.
I just felt like at some point we have to stand against the duopoly in regards to our politics and really have to stand for something. And if that means, hey, I lose or my candidate doesn't come through, it's not why I did it. I did it because that person earned the vote from me.
Who was it? George Washington that said that it was extremely dangerous for us to get into a two-party system in our government and that he did not want to see that happen. And what the fuck did we do?
Two-party system.
Okay.
Two-party system of corporate politicians funded by the same individuals.
Shit.
With the same agenda, just taking different steps.
Everyone is funded by the same people.
But I chose to vote green. So
they perform in front of us a different way.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's just we're just a different way to skin the cat. That's all. But we all going to the same thing. The money is still going to the same people, military, police, and taken away from the working class.
Yeah,
gotta make sure. The most important thing is to maintain the health and the action of the poverty exploited class.
They're gonna force you to have the baby,
and
then they not gonna educate the baby.
So the baby dumb. So he dumb and have more babies.
And then the baby might go to jail.
Maybe.
And then if the baby go to jail, it's basically a slave. Right? If the baby don't go to jail, the baby goes into a system of like, I don't even know, just like everyday monotony. So they can pay fucking more taxes than people who make less than them. To not be able to buy a fucking house because inflation for real estate is even higher than regular inflation. Like, what life are you living? This is nonsense.
Yeah, I mean, at some point we have to. we're gonna have to stand up for ourselves, but it's also going to understand that there's going to be a pushback. And are we willing to accept the pushback? Are we going to be able to get up? Are we going to pick up our fellow man and help them out, or are we going to say, well, that ain't me, so it's not happening? So, you ask yourself. That's why that Joe conversation resonates with me a lot, because so many times we want to be him, but he's the person blinding us from what's really going on. And he's just doing his job in that. Let me put nice things in front of you. Let me tell you broke. Let me let you feel less than, and
yeah,
you'll let everybody else win because you feel like that's what they're supposed to be doing, is dominating you. So life is a labor of love. So let's keep building these moments together. And remember, your job is not your family. The only thing you should be exploiting is these corporations. Tell them what to do, Miss Fair.
Follow us on all of the social media platforms at talk.fnf.tv, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, right here on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe. We appreciate all of your support. Love you. Bye.
And Kamala Harris, why did you go in the shade room?
Like, the shade room is not fucking black media. That's not a black news platform. Stop going on the fucking shade room.